Hello, viewers. Welcome to the Science Shell Academy TV. Today, we have some special guests in the house, people who have conquered JAMB and have done marvelous things as regards to JAMB and WAEC. Currently, they are first-year undergraduates in the various universities. So, since preparations have started for the 2023 UTME, I thought that it would be a good idea to bring them on board to share their success tips, how they conquered JAMB in the past academic. One of them here was among the top 3 in the nation. I will allow them to introduce themselves and then we pick up from them. So can we start from the lady in the house? Can we know you, please?
Good evening, everyone. My name is Bangladesh Krishna, and I recently graduated from the Ambassador's College of State XIV. So my favorite subjects are physics, mathematics, economics, and chemistry. Nice to meet all of you. Thank you very much for having me.
Okay. All right. Thank you. Next person, Ibrahim, can you introduce yourself? Can we know you?
Okay. Yes. So, good evening, everyone. My name is Billy Ibrahim.
Okay.
One of the top players in JAMB. So I'm basically a chill person. I like listening to music. I like reading. Sometimes I'm playing video games with friends over here, UTME especially.
Okay, the last man on board, can we know you, please? The gentleman to my right.
Hello, my name is Nifemi Mano. I'm 17 and I just graduated from the Ambassador's College, Ota. I'm into computer science. I like math and programming. Some might even say I'm into competitive gaming as well. It might be good to add that I'm the person who was the third best in JAMB nationally.
Thank you very much. Thank you all for coming on board. Actually, these 3 guys here, yes, although we have a lady here, she's also a guy, yeah. These 3 guys here have one thing in common. All of them graduated from the same school, the Ambassador's College, Ota. And Emmanuel Nifemi scored 357 over 400 in the 2022 JAMB UTME examination. While Christabel Bamigbade scored 352, if I'm not mistaken. Christabel? Yes, out of 400. And Brahim Bello scored 214 out of what? 400, which is no mean feat. Actually, all of them were in the first tier of the overall performance in last year's examination. So let's dive into the main discussion. Who am I starting with? Okay, let's start with Nifemi. Nifemi, can you tell us the secret behind your success in JAMB generally? Maybe 2 or 3 minutes.
All right. I think I'd say the major reason why I did so well in UTME was because I kind of worked on my strengths and I had to make sure that in the ones where I was weakest, the things I did know, I knew them to the best of my ability. What am I saying? So before UTME started, I identified that my strongest subjects were math and English. I knew those were the parts where I could gain the most points. So I just locked them down, kind of made sure that I was ready no matter what. And then I allowed myself some time to prepare for my 2 slightly weaker subjects, which were physics and chemistry. So knowing that, when I knew that I did not do as well in those 2 subjects as the first 2, I made sure that there were some things that I did know and I knew them to the best of the ability, because UTME is an objective test. So if you can think you saw something in an option that would have made it correct, but if you didn't really see it or it's not the way it's supposed to be, then you've missed the question. So I had to make sure that I knew what I was doing in the remaining 2 subjects. So I built up on my favorite topics like organic chemistry, like projectiles, and then I just tried to supplement that with a little bit more knowledge in my weaker topics. So all that preparation, constant practicing, looking for more and more difficult questions, they really helped me to shine in the test.
Thank you very much. From what you said consistent word practice, right? And trying out difficult word question, because as the more you try to solve difficult questions, the more it expanded your ability to reason out of the box, right?
Yes, sir, that is correct.
Ibrahim, can you tell us the secret behind your success in JAMB? You scored 349. I bet you there are people out there who will be fasting and praying to God to score 300, but you added 49 points above 300. That was no mean feat. Yes. What were your secrets?
Okay, what I would say was my secret was that, like Nifemi said, it's all about constant practicing. But in JAM, you focus mainly on your strong point, but that doesn't mean that you should just avoid it. So English was kind of weak for me, and my science subjects and mathematics were like very strong. So I didn't just pass my English, I built on my English, but I try to make my science subjects as sharp as possible, like avoid every single form of error, make it sure that it's all about perfection, get down to the bone of contention of every single topic, especially like chemistry. For chemistry, it's not just about knowing to know. If you cram all the formulas and everything inside the into chemistry textbook, JAM has this way of making options look similar. So without the right understanding and constant practice and the right guidance from Science Chef Academy, you won't be able to see the difference between white and black. Because the way it will put it, will make it look like gray is close to white. So that's just the thing. And JAM is what they call it. It's a multiple choice something. It's either you get it or you don't. 25% chance of getting it and 75% chance of missing it. So you have to actually understand what you're doing. So I would try to say is that for your strong subjects, yes, you know them. Don't just say that, okay, I know this, I'm already good at it. Let me just leave it and focus on my weak. Try to sharpen your strong subject as much as possible to the point of perfection that obviously you can't reach that point, but try to be nearly perfect. And that's just, and keep constantly practicing, keep doing more questions. Because as I realized, JAM kind of like repeats questions and all. So with constant practice and prayer and more understanding, you'll be able to score like really high.
All right, thank you, Ibrahim. So what I could pick from what you said, you advise that you maximize your strength, right? And try as much as you can to eliminate your weakness, right?
Yes. Yes, sir.
Good. And also the God factor too. Excellent. Thank you. Then the lady in the house. So Christabel, what was your secret?
Well, my colleagues have already said most of it. Like, I'm just going to like point it out even more. Like practice, like list out the subjects like which you are strong at, and then subjects which you are weak at, and then try to make sure that the subjects you are really strong at, you make them even better than you were before. Like read them and you don't ignore them just because you feel like you're good at them already. Make sure you come even better than you were before. And then you also focus on your weak subjects. Like practice them, study other. And then when you read a topic in a subject, let's say chemistry, and then you read organic chemistry now, if you feel like you already have an understanding of it, and then you have practiced as many questions as you can, just try your best to like look for someone who is also struggling with it, and then maybe explain it to them in the ways which you understand it. Like I feel like teaching someone can also help you like gain understanding of the topic even better. So like try to find someone like that you can explain the topic to. That way you're not just helping that person, you're also helping yourself, because you'll be able to recall what you read before, and you also help that person understand it better. And then when you are reading, don't just read like for the purpose of answering questions. Read to understand what full understanding of what you're reading, so that when you see a question and you will just drop towards an answer that appears correct but actually is not correct. So, and then like Ibrahim said, pray often, like before you start reading, pray. After you read, pray, and then everything will work out.
All right, Christabel, thank you very much. So what I was able to pick out from what you said is that you should be ready to share your knowledge, right? And also synergize with others, right? And after reading, don't just believe that you have understood what you read, right? But try as much as you can. Try look for someone who is not so good in the subject and try to teach that person. Try to share that knowledge with that person. And by so doing, you tend to have a deeper understanding of what you have read. Because JAM is more of what understanding than what knowledge. Okay, thank you very much. So the next question, somehow you've touched on it a bit, but it's going to be specific now. Nifem, you got almost a perfect score in mathematics. Am I right?
Yes.
That's
Sir.
about 99, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes, 99 over 100.
Wow. That was crazy. And English of all other subjects, you were able to score above 80. Am I correct?
I got 80 on the dot, yeah, so.
80 on the dot. Okay, wow. So, can you tell us what you did in 60 seconds?
All right. I'm going to start with English because I know that might be harder for some people. The English has different parts, right? And they all kind of work together to for you to communicate. It comes to diction, the sounds, and then grammar. So those parts came from observing how native speakers speak the language. You notice sometimes when I'm just listening, maybe to a song or I'm watching a movie or something, I tend to notice how native speakers of the English language use different words together and how they might choose not to use other words together and how they also pronounce certain words. So that has helped me kind of intuit how to use the English language very well. So I can say that's kind of how I did well. And in math, well, mathematics is mostly about speed and accuracy. That's what matters above all else. You have to be fast because you don't have a lot of time. But you also have to make sure that everything works well. And when you are done, because all of math, the numbers part of math, everything works in a system. So if you solve and you get an answer, you should be able to go through a different method, a different path, and get that same answer. So that's what you're looking out for when you're cross-checking. You're not just making sure that you've done all your steps correctly. You're also making sure that you have followed the right path and that if you followed a different path, you would arrive at the same destination. So checking constantly and also practicing a lot. I was able to do so well in math and English.
Oh, thank you very much. Viewers, I hope you were able to learn one or two things from what he has said. For English, you have to do more of listening, more of reading, exposing yourself to different vocabularies, reading novels, listening to news, right? To increase the depth of your vocabularies, right? Good. And also maths, you have to be fast and what accurate. And also you must be able to solve that problem. You are following another word path. You know, that you solve the problem using another method and you get a different answer. Definitely there must be something wrong with your previous word answer, right? Nifemi, am I correct?
Yes, sir.
All right.
That's it. Not necessarily with your previous answer, it might even be your new answer.
Maybe your new answer. To double check that you are correct, your two answers should be the same from different methods, right?
Yes.
Okay. Mama, yes, you were also a top scorer in chemistry, right?
Yes, sir.
I think you got 90 something, even not 99.
99, yes, sir.
99. Wow, that's almost 100. You guys were hot. Okay, so what did you do?
Well, I'll touch on practice. I mentioned before that you practice a lot of questions when you are after reading a particular topic and all. So, like, what I did was, to be sincere, I never really finished chemistry jam pack, and that was because whenever I like pick a year to solve, like answer questions on, and then after answering the questions, maybe I feel like 4 questions. What I do is I pick out like those numbers that I feel the questions on, and then I look at which topic to come from, and then I go back to my textbook. Like at that very period, new school chemistry was my friend because like I would visit and visit new school chemistry a lot of times, like to see the part where like when I was reading before, maybe I missed it, like I overlooked it for some reason, like and then I happened to come across it in my past questions. I would read it and then try to understand, like in case I like see it in another question, maybe another year or even the original exam, and then I just like understand and you it's like speed and accuracy. You're able to cover a lot of topics in a very faster method. Like it, instead of just practicing and then practicing and practicing and not looking at where like the questions you feel, not looking at why you feel them and what made you pick the answers you pick. Instead of just going and going and going, it's better to stay on a particular year and make sure that you understand every single question there, understand why you pick the answers you pick, understand why the answers are correct. And also, well, I must say, like, the Science Chef Academy also actually helped me a lot because watching the videos I watched, like, for chemistry, the videos I watched, they were really, really explanatory. Like, topics like extraction of metals, organic chemistry, like, it really, really helped me. And I must say that, like, those were things that helped me for chemistry.
Wow, wow, wow.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. What I was able to pick from what you said was that you did in-depth study, right? You were not just solving questions you were actually was studying, and when you missed a particular question, you didn't just go to the back of the pack to look at the answer, to cram the answer, but you went to your textbook, right, to read up that topic, to check why that answer was wrong. Probably you had overlooked it when you were studying, right? For the fact that you have seen it in your JAMB pack, it means that you needed to know that topic in-depthly, right? Fine.
Yes, sir.
Thank you very much. Ibrahim,
Yes,
good. This is the chemistry wizard. This young man here almost got 100% in chemistry. I don't know how he did it. Ibrahim, how did you do it?
Well, I'll say that the reason was because it's a matter of like whether you like the subject. Like I wasn't just reading chemistry because I had to pass. Like I was reading it because I actually liked the subject. Like some people majorly just read to just cram and just pour in the exam. And like Christopher said, you do what they call in-depth study, and that's what you actually do. And for JAM, like when you're doing JAM and stuff, like answering the questions, I would say that you should start early and start practicing your questions early, because that's what most people do. They wait until like a month or 3 weeks before the exam, before they start going for tutorial classes, before they start reading. And so I would advise, because I started as early as December like 2021. I started as early as that, and my jam was around April. So I started as early as then. So people that started like just going for tutorial classes 3 weeks, I may say that they might have done as if they were to have started like 4 months ago. And concerning past questions, there's a thing with past questions. Past questions can either boost you or hinder you. Because if you keep solving past questions over and over again and just checking the answers and just marking it, you are not actually learning anything. You are not really correcting yourself. You keep shooting yourself in the leg. You keep making that same mistake. You keep making the same mistake until you actually understand why the thing is wrong. So I would say what you should do is you should read for understanding, and also try to, what they call it, look at I see will help me in chemistry was also the science chef, like Christabel said. Because when I watch the videos, the diagrams have a way of the illustrations have a way of sticking to your head, like the organic chemistry, like stereoisomerism, cis and trans. You can be able to remember all that, something that is on the same side, one is on the alternate side, just by just looking at it. So I'll say illustrations also can help with your understanding. So what I'll say is start early, start practicing early, and what they call read for in-depth understanding, and try to look at diagrams and try to understand.
Thank you very much, Ibrahim Bello. Now, from what I was able to pick from your statement, or you said that you started early, right? In your preparations for JAM, you must start early, right? And not just starting early, you must also develop that love for the subject, right? So, one must not wait till 3 weeks to the exam before you start preparing for JAM. Just like this year's JAM will be written in April or thereabout. So starting now is not too late. I think that from what I understand. And also you and Christabel have made reference to the Science Chef Academy. Wow. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for the recommendation. Wow. We never knew that it would be of so much help to people like you. When we hear testimonies like this, it urges us to do more. Thank you very much. All right. So we are gradually coming to the end of this interview. So let me start with Ibrahim this time around. What is your advice for those preparing to write the 2023 JAM UTME in 60 seconds?
In 60 seconds. Okay. What I'll say is that you should always keep trying. Like, no matter what happens, always keep trying. You will fail. There's no how. You are going to fail multiple times. You're going to feel like just giving up. But that's just like if someone wants to find gold, you keep digging, digging, digging. And then if you just have one more hit and then you just like drop it, and then someone just come and just taps and just be done, that the person gets the success. So you can't have worked so hard and everything and then just decide to stop. So what I'll say is that you keep trying hard, because that's just it. It's just constant practice. And like I said, always start early. Always start early. It's never too late. It's never too early to start.
All right. So start early and keep onward working. Keep practicing, keep failing on what you are doing and learning from your mistakes until you get it right, right? All right. Thank you, Ibrahim.
Yes, sir.
Christabel, what's your advice for those preparing to write the next JAMB? 60 seconds.
So like Ibrahim said, the process might seem frustrating, but just keep trying and keep studying, and at the end you get your goal. And then also make a goal, like what do you plan on getting for your JAMB, and then work towards it. Ensure you work hard. Like making a goal and not working will not help you. Make sure that you make a goal and work towards it. Put in all the exams. Don't just forget, read, understand, and then if you ever get the chance, help the people around you. That way you're also helping yourself. Thank you.
All right, thank you. So set a target for yourself and work towards. Not just enough to set a target, but you must also work towards it. In other words, faith without good works is what? Dead, right? Good. And also help people around you. By doing so, it also helps in increasing your what? Knowledge and understanding. Thank you very much, Christabel. Now, Nifemi, the Don. Yes.
Two major things. First of all, do not injure yourself. And when I say that, I don't mean do not stress yourself in reading. I mean, do not wait too long before you start cramming information down your throat, because you're going to choke on it. You have to start now. Take it a step at a time. Okay, and just try and work in the knowledge gradually. And the second thing I'm going to say is don't stop learning. Okay, why I was so good at English is because besides reading textbooks and reading notes and doing classwork, I also try to pay attention to my environment to learn from whatever I had. So that also applies in chemistry, in physics. Never stop learning. If you realize there's something you don't know, quickly pick up a textbook and read. Try, if you hear any piece of information anywhere, just whether you think you know it or not, just listen. Just keep learning. Never stop learning. It doesn't have to be from the textbooks. It doesn't have to be in the classroom. Keep learning.
Thank you very much, Nifemi.
That's my best.
Keep learning, and keep learning. You have to keep learning if you must make it in the forthcoming examination. If you are reading or you're studying and you don't understand, find someone who understands better than you do to explain or teach you. The whole aim is what? Getting better than what you were the previous time, so that at the end, it will be very easy for you to achieve your set goal. All right, guys, we have come to the end of our interview for today, and I really like to appreciate our guests in the house. Nifemi Emmanuel, thank you very much for coming. Christabel Bamibade, thank you. We appreciate your presence. And Ibrahim Bello, aka Ibro. Good to see you. I hope the university life is treating you guys well, right?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So we wish you all the best in your future endeavors, and especially in your studies in the university. And we hope that when next we call upon you, right, you kindly oblige us as you have done today. Can we count on that?
Yes,
Yes, sir.
definitely.
Thank you very much for coming. So guys, you've heard it from the master's mouth. I don't want to call them horses because they are not horses. They are the masters. They are the masters of the game, the masters of JAMB. They destroyed JAMB last year, right? So, and there are no other people that are in a better position to give you the success tips for this year's JAMB than these three young guys. Also, from what you heard from them, they also made use of the Science Chef Academy. So a number will be showing on your screen now. So if you want to achieve the kind of success they achieved in their own JAMB, send a message, a WhatsApp message to that number to join our intensive JAMB tutorials on our Telegram channel. So until then, goodbye for now, and God bless. Bye.
Bye bye.
Bye. Thank you, everyone.
Bye.
Thank you.